After a week's delay, I finally received my black and white negatives, and there's a lot to talk about. If you're interested in shooting black and white film, or shooting film with a disposable camera, then this video is for you. Hi, my name is Jorge, welcome. On this channel we merge creativity and productivity to try to live a more fulfilling life. A lot of you commented on my dedicated black and white camera video and suggested that instead of shooting black and white with the digital camera, I should try shooting black and white film instead. Shooting on film has lots of limitations, including the price. We'll talk more about it later. However, I do shoot in film. I enjoy it quite a bit actually. I don't do it as often as I would like, because I don't have the proper resources for it, but I do shoot on film. So instead of just daydreaming and wishing that I had better gear or more resources, I decided to take action, to follow my own advice from my own videos and reload a disposable camera with black and white film. More specifically the Fujifilm Acros 100 Mark II. And to be honest, it was really fun. It was a great experience and the results are not too terrible either. Let's get started. I've talked about this in detail in my black and white dedicated camera video and you can watch it right here. But when I shoot black and white, the distractions of color are removed and lights and shadow are all that remains. It doesn't feel like I'm documenting everyday life, more like capturing a moment in time, if that makes sense. Composition has always been extremely important to me. I made a dedicated video about that and you can watch it right here. But with black and white images, composition somehow becomes even more important. Light, shadows, composition, and contrast are all the things that I'm thinking about when shooting black and white film, or digital as well. Doesn't really matter. If you are a member of this very small community, well, first, thank you very much, it means a lot. But if you are a member, then you know that I shoot with intentionality. I shoot mostly in manual mode, JPEG only. I change the aspect ratios in camera and switch between color and black and white before I take my shots. I don't change any of those things later in post. And shooting like this holds me accountable for the mistakes that I make, helps me learn and grow, and keeps the iteration wheel spinning. However, with cameras like this, it is very easy to just zone out and not pay attention to what you're doing and not be as mindful as I would with this camera, for example. There are no manual settings, no menus to change aspect ratio, no manual focusing. It's just a cheap piece of plastic. So I had to edit some of the images that I've shown you today, maybe crop a little or change the aspect ratio. Therefore, I had to find a way to keep myself grounded and still shoot with intentionality. So I wrote down in my little notebook every single shot that I took. I shot some of these images knowing and visualizing that I would turn them into either 16:9 aspect ratios or even 1:1 square ratio as well. You do not need to do this. This is just my own personal way to keep myself immersed and engaged. However, shooting with intentionality is important, and that is how you can get decent results from a regular camera or something like this, a $10 to $15 disposable camera as well. I enjoy shooting on film, however it can be time consuming and expensive as well. You have to buy the film rolls, you have to get the film developed, and then you have to scan the negatives to get digital files. And in general, I like to do a photography session about 3 times a week. So imagine that process 3 times a week. How much would it cost? So add up the cost of 3 rolls per week, plus developing the film. This can be done either at home if you have the right tools, or at a photo lab, which can take a week or more. Plus getting the negative scanned at a photo lab, which costs extra, or buying an actual film scanner and scanning the negatives yourself. Plus the actual camera and lenses, which granted is not too bad, not that expensive, but when you add everything up, the cost is too damn high. I know there's people out there that say that shooting on film is the only way to go, that you're not a real photographer if you don't shoot on film. And to me, that is just complete nonsense. It really comes down to if you like it or not, your time, and your resources. And at this time, I don't have a lot of resources to shoot very often on film. However, lacking resources should not be an excuse to not experiment and not try new things. It should not be an excuse for me to not try affordable ways of shooting film, black and white versus color, digital, film, you name it. It should not get in the way of experimenting and playing with your craft and enjoying the process. For the most part, resources are not the issue. Your mindset is. And if you're the type of person that is waiting to get the perfect camera or all the gear you want or the right tools before you even start, then you're truly missing out. I had a lot of fun shooting on film. And although some of you might not consider this to be a real film camera, it still worked and it still got me in a different mentality and a different mindset and helped me shoot with intentionality. For example, no chimping every single time I take a photo or taking 30 photos of the same thing and then deciding later in post if I like it, if it's good or not. No aspect ratio, so I had to think about it in advance and write down everything I wanted to write down and the number of the shots so I could remember later what I was thinking at the moment. As well as no SD card, so you have a finite number of shots. You cannot just go crazy with it. And looking at the images and the final results, they're okay. They're not great, but they're not awful or unusable either. Some images are a complete disaster, like these, but some other images are not too bad. In fact, I like some of these. Overall, it was a really fun experience and I highly recommend it. Shooting on film has lots of limitations, but that is what makes it feel fresh and unique. A different perspective, if you will. And just remember that necessity is the mother of invention. As always, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Do you shoot in film often? Do you only shoot on digital? Do you mix and match? Share your thoughts in a comment down below. But that is it for today's video. If you found this video helpful or valuable, please like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and join my free newsletter as well. Thank you very much for watching, for giving me your time and your energy, and good luck with your creative process.